Welcome everyone to Podcast Go. It's been a long time since I've said that. I think this is episode 3,
Yeah.
and I am your co-host Adnan Riaz. God, can't even fucking do this anymore. I'm your co-host Adnan Riaz, and I'm joined by my other co-host Chris Cortes.
How's it going, guys?
Yep, we're
Yeah.
actually still alive. Lo and behold, I think most people wouldn't have expected that, but no, basically we just had a lot of recording schedules and like issues and just like babies and like all kinds of other things that have just been interfering in like everything. So we basically just tried to arrange dates, and it's just been going backfiring on us like on a number of occasions. But
Yeah.
we've actually decided to get together just before the end of 2016
Yeah.
to record a episode
That's right.
because we need to. Chris, it's been a very interesting year, has it not?
Yeah, man. I mean, 2016 is kind of like depending on who you talk to, it's either a very shitty year or an extremely shitty year. Like it's been I don't know, man. It's like it was a mixed bag, right? Like a lot of really bad shit happened, but then again, I had a kid, and that was pretty cool. Becoming a
Mm,
dad. So it's weird. Like personally, this for me personally, this year was a lot better. Like the financial problems went away for the most part. Rebecca and I had a kid, but like then on the flip side, like man, a lot of fucked up shit happened this year. Like in so many different facets, like around the
mhm.
world. I think it was pretty good for gaming, though, right?
Yeah, I don't think you'd ever expect Final Fantasy 15 and The Last Guardian to be released in the same year. I feel that
Yeah,
was like,
1 week apart.
I know, like, exactly, which is like the most worrying in the entire world. Which, no, it has been a very interesting year. I mean, I would start off with the phenomenon that was Pokemon Go, which
Yeah, holy crap,
which
that
is a
was
bit
pretty
interesting.
big.
Yeah, which is a bit interesting because Becca still plays it, right? Your wife.
Oh my God, dude, Becca is so into that game. Like so many people she knows has dropped it, but she's so into it. She asked me the
Mhm.
other day, "Would it be cool if every month I spend $10, at least $10, on in-app purchases?" And she's like, "I know it's dumb, but I really fucking like this game." And I'm like, "Dude, if anyone should do in-app purchases, that's you. Go right ahead." So that's how she's really into it.
Mm. No, it's a very interesting game. I think like I mean, the original bandwagon wouldn't have stayed along for as long as it did anyway because it was just Pokemon. That's the fact. It sold because it was Pokemon and it went on that kind of massive hype factor. I
Yeah.
think the problem is that it was such a prematurely launched game. It's ridiculous, and you can see where Nintendo, again with linking it with Super Mario Run, you can see where the problems are because they go into market and they're approaching it in such an old-fashioned way. The fact that Super Mario Run has to be connected to the internet, and obviously so it avoids
Yeah.
getting like duplicated and like illegally downloaded and whatever else. Fair enough, but at the same time, it shows that it's not necessarily going to be the most effective way of approaching something.
Yeah.
But with like Niantic have really really dropped the dog's balls because I still play the game within like a certain kind of like amount. Like I only play it like here and there, but like now where it's at, this game is how it should have launched with the
Mhm.
amount of like the track you can track certain Pokemon at certain Pokestops where they are and everything else. Because at the end of the day, it is a walking simulator, and it's a
Yeah.
bad walking simulator because you can walk anywhere and you can find nothing as well. But like either way, I did think it was a really interesting phenomenon that came about in a year of gaming, which like the amount of stuff that's actually happened.
Yeah.
Um, it has been actually a bit crazy, but it was one of those where did need to bring it up first because I feel like when something like that happens with Pokemon, it's always first. Same with like Twitch plays Pokemon.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um,
definitely, dude. That was I think that really even though Nintendo didn't directly made it, it was Niantic, like that I think really reinforced like, hey, Nintendo franchises or whatever can be done pretty damn well on mobile platform. Because prior to that, what do we have? Mitomo? And I mean,
yeah, well,
that was fun for like I don't know 2 weeks, and then it kind of just became like that was a cute thing. I'm glad I didn't pay any money for it.
yeah.
And now Super Mario Run came out, which dude, I bought it by the way. I bought it because
Any good?
I liked it. I thought it was fun, but I primarily bought it because my son liked it. I would put Jack in front of me, and he really likes iPhones and like smartphones. So I would play the game in front of him, and he was so enthralled in it that I'm like, I'm gonna spend the $10 to get it. And I think it's fun for what it is. I think it's pretty cool. I wish I had more content though. So my advice would be
Yeah.
like wait until there's a sale and it's like, I'm sure it's gonna be on sale for like $5 or like $1 or something, and pick it up then. But it's good.
Mm.
It's worth the demo. I think it's like for free. Like the first four
Three
levels are
levels.
free. Yeah, four or three or
Yeah.
something is like for free. So it's pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a very interesting point in that kind of year
Yeah.
with that. So I did have to bring the health first. I do
Um,
have very much reluctance towards it, but that's for another podcast.
Yeah, one to kind of like I guess we could take turns bringing stuff up, but for one thing I wanted to bring up was, man. By the way, I don't think we really said this, but we're doing a year in review in case you guys haven't picked up. Like it's we're going back. I don't know. I just wanted to put it out there because like we're doing a 2016 year in review just in case people are like, are they gonna stop talking? When is Chris gonna make a joke about drunk backs? Like no, we're doing 2016 year in review because it's it was like we said earlier. It was kind of like a it was the best of times is the worst of times. You know what I mean? But no, one thing, dude, I want to bring up was, dude, GameTrailers.com closed, man, back in February.
Awesome.
That was a major blow for me, man, because I had really gotten into them lately. I thought the people, the crew that they had assembled near the end of that website's run were super cool. They would always do like Twitch streams and they were just really fun. Like the type of dudes that you're like, God, I wish I was hanging out with them. Like they made you feel like you were hanging out with them to the point that when you realize you weren't, you're like, fuck, I wish I was. But I mean, it sucked that they closed down. But what happened was the fallout of that was game. It's so weird, dude. So the people who ran Game Trailers started a new website called Easy Allies, and I recommend you guys listening check that out. It's a great website. But then Game Trailers itself was bought by IGN. Isn't that weird? Like they bought the name Game Trailers and all the
Yeah, and all the
content.
assets.
Yeah, all the assets. So they still use their YouTube channel to like post whenever a game trailer comes out. They post it on that channel. That's all they use it for. Like they're just like, hey, game trailers. It's a great name. But they
Yeah,
still have all their content up there. So I thought that was really cool that they preserved it because I think whoever the hell owned it prior to that, they were just going to get rid of
definitely
everything.
media.
Yeah, they were just going to get rid of everything, and like that's important to at least make that content, the archival content, available. So
Yeah, it was
you
a
know,
very interesting time for games journalism and kind of the way they did things, but also kind of
yeah,
says a lot about the evolution of Patreon and kind of like those schemes.
yeah, because
Uh,
they're Easy Allies, fully, good thing to bring up. They Patreon, man, they're like fully supported by that.
mm, exactly. A big story I want to talk to you about, and I don't know how
Sure.
much you've been paying attention to it, but is Ubisoft's current predicament with the hostile takeover that's potentially looming over them.
Oh, dude,
Um,
no, tell me about this. I
with
don't
it,
know.
right, so basically Vivendi, I don't know if I'm gonna butcher so many names now, but Vivendi basically acquired Gameloft, which was
Okay,
which was owned by Ubisoft at one point.
right, okay,
And they're a like a French kind of company, but basically they've been buying stocks in Ubisoft, and I think at the minute they own about 25%. My stats, I'll be a bit more prepared with this kind of like my stats and stuff, but I think
right.
at the minute they own a large portion of Ubisoft,
Oh,
which is kind
wow.
of putting a lot of kind of like pressure now on the Gilmore brothers, the ones that own Ubisoft, the fact that they could have a hostile takeover on
Holy
Ubisoft.
crap.
And so it's one of those things where it's been going on. It's kind of creeping in the background, so it's not really been like mass exposure on it.
Right.
And obviously, it won't until if it does happen, a corporate takeover. But
Jeez, man.
but it's a very well, that's the thing, though. It's a very, very worrying time for Ubisoft because now they're in a position because like the Assassin's Creed movie and everything else and all their kind of properties, like maybe they don't make the money, it could cause problems. But basically, this company has been buying shares in Ubisoft slowly to the point where it's gradually expanding. Because like here's it says in October 2015, Vivendi bought minority stakes in French video game studios Gameloft and Ubisoft, but that's just minority at the time. Now it's just
Wow.
basically, and then it says here as well in June 2016, after having triggered a mandatory tender offer in February 2016 by reaching 30% of ownership and then becoming its largest shareholder, Vivendi completed a hostile takeover of Gameloft with with the acquisition of its founder stakes. At the same time, Vivendi also further increased in stakes in Ubisoft, which has led to concerns from the company's management that Vivendi is also planning a hostile takeover of Ubisoft. So it's
Jeez.
basically two big stories, and I think it'll be a big talking point, especially in games journalism going forward in 2017 of what happens to Ubisoft. Because like,
Yeah.
if anyone's ever listened to a podcast that we've been on, I have no love lost for Ubisoft, but it's worrying about because at the same time, the Gilmore Brothers do have a very good philosophy of kind of keeping that company afloat. But then
Yeah.
also like a company like this kind of creeping in, it does send a very like worrying message.
Damn.
So in itself, it's in itself one of those stories where I feel like people have to take take quite a lot of attention to because even do
Yeah.
you remember that E3 stuff when they're holding like Unity together
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
stage? They're all on stage and saying like we're a family and like this. They were basically echoing that message because of this takeover that's happening. Or it's
Yeah.
like supposed takeover. It kind of makes more sense when you look into it, but. It was a big story that I wanted to bring up to 2016 because it was always there and it was always the kind of thing where it's not ready to implode yet, but when
Right.
it does, it's really big.
Jeez, yeah, man. Holy fuck. Yeah, that's gonna be. Hopefully, we can cover that a lot of it
Yeah.
next year. Because damn, that's gonna be. There's gonna be some fallout there. They're probably thinking, see, we should have released an Assassin's Creed game this year. The one year we don't do it, everything falls apart. God damn
The
it.
prior the priority, isn't it?
Yeah, they're like, God damn it. Well, dude, another thing to bring up this year, game related. There was so many fucking anniversaries this year, man.
Mm,
I'm gonna go through some of them, not all of them. So Pokemon celebrated its 20th anniversary. The whole
deserved.
franchise, yeah. So did Resident Evil. Resident Evil, isn't that funny? Resident Evil and Pokemon came out the same
Ish.
year. Yeah, like 20, like a month apart, something like that. But
Yeah.
Resident Evil celebrated back in March, 20th anniversary of the series, which, God, nuts, it's been around for 20 years,
Well,
man.
nullifying the last 10 years or so.
Yeah,
Parts of the last 10 years.
the last 10 years it's been like action evil, like, punching boulders or some shit like that. Um, Sonic the Hedgehog celebrated a quarter of a century, its 25th anniversary. So, again, another
Bit,
series that's like,
bit,
well,
bit more depressing on that side.
yeah, the last 15 years have been kind of shit, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling through here. What
Tomb Raider,
else? Yeah, Tomb.
20th
Thank you.
anniversary.
20th anniversary Tomb Raider. Yeah.
Big
Crazy, man.
franchise.
Yeah, like that's been and I'd say, 20 years Tomb Raider has evolved a lot, man. They've gone through raiding to I mean, I remember there was that whole Angel of Darkness phase that Lara Croft went through where
Yeah.
she's like, I'm no longer in those tombs anymore. And I think like that was should have been their
It's
tagline.
like it's like Indiana Jones saying, "I'm no longer an archaeologist. I'm just a teacher." And it's like, and people are saying that the cinema screen is like, okay, this isn't what I signed up for.
Yeah, I think like Crystal Dynamics were like, yeah, let's go back to the tombs. But
Yeah,
they
it's
did, with the new series is fucking phenomenal. So I think that
yeah,
series has
but
some legs.
that's what I mean though, because if you look at the franchises as well, all the ones that you listed, Pokemon I'd expect to go very strong as it should have done.
Right.
Resident Evil, I expect where it is at the minute, where it's kind of like almost soul searching and kind of like in the midst of doing something to kind of like revamp the entire franchise.
Yeah.
Sonic is a bit more thingy where I thought it would be on the
Sonic's
same level as
drunk.
Mario.
Sonic is straight
Yeah,
up drunk.
which and then it surprises me that Tomb Raider is the one that survived because all the fact
Yeah,
that Lara Croft is an icon. She was very much like a sex symbol in the 90s, and now and
definitely.
kind of like
Yeah.
her representation and everything else, she's very much like personified to be a new kind of like character. And it's
Yeah.
really impressive
Yeah.
when you look at the evolution of Tomb Raider. It's really done its kind of justice. I feel like Crystal Dynamics doesn't get enough credit for what it is because of where Uncharted is at the minute. It's always been compared. Crystal Dynamics has been completely, swept under the rug for how much they've done like a great job on Tomb Raider.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think I think Tomb Raider, like, love it or hate it, one thing that's definitely done is it's like explored different avenues. I think in ways that worked to a certain degree. I mean, they've had some stinkers. Every series that's been around for that long is always going to have some stinkers. But I think Tomb Raider has taken more risks, and I think that they've um, stuck to their guns for the most part. No pun intended, but they've like stuck to their guns for the most part. Whereas Sonic took a lot. I mean, Sonic Unleashed, Werehog and shit. I mean, they took a lot of risks with what they've done. Pokemon has played it safe, and like we talked about, Resident Evil has made some
I mean,
questionable choices.
like if they have played it safe, but from what I've heard from feedback on the new games, it's really been a big change. and a welcome change as well because they got rid of like the gym battles
Oh, Sun and
during the
Moon? Yeah,
games.
I did hear about
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
which is like, and it's like a lot of the big revamps people have been like, I think someone said to me like it's a big change from the other series, and they've really like enjoyed it. It's been really refreshing after like the same formula being used for about 20 years.
Yeah.
Uh, so like I was kind of impressed with that. In that sense, I thought I'd just bring that up.
Yeah. No, no, that's a good point. Yeah, definitely. Um, shit, I don't know, dude. Get event wise, I
I
mean,
mean,
do you
actually,
wanna? Yeah.
there's two other things I'd bring up as well. Like just before we do that, so we had some big news in the sense that Lionhead closed.
Yeah. My God, I forgot about that. That
Microsoft closed
was.
out, and
Yeah.
Evolution Studios closed as well. Or
Yeah.
the UK Drive Club. Two, because I just wanted to bring up because two studios very decorated for like different reasons, and then also fell from grace so hard
Yeah.
because of the projects they were being put on. I mean, like Peter Molyneux's like stench has been stuck on Lionhead since he left, and like with Fable Legends, which was I like the idea, but then it's like people like I don't know if it's even going to succeed, and then obviously um, it completely like faltered because of like when they shut down the studio, and then Evolution closed down as well, and we have a good history of Drive Club and all that amazing stuff that happened with PS Plus and the free
Yeah.
promises and everything else. It needs to be held. But I mean, the other things as well happened. Other big announcements was that Sony Interactive Entertainment was formed, which is a
Yeah.
few Sony Computer Entertainment, and made it into one kind of entity, which was kind of cool. They even used the PS1 logo, the Sony logo that appears in the PS1
Yeah. Super
kind of
great
thing.
idea. Great idea from them. Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah, it's one of those that was kind of a cool one. And then other ones I would just want to mention as well is the fact that the Last Guardian of Final Fantasy 15 came out this year, which
Yes.
I mean, like, which if you want to treat it any other way, like, well,
What
what can you say about it? It's like,
Dude, I think once Shenmue 3 comes out, that's pretty much it, right? Like, I don't think there's any other. Like, we got Duke Nukem Forever
well,
came out, Two Human came out. Like, all these games that have been in development for so long are coming out. I think all it is Shenmue. Well, Shenmue wasn't in development, but I'm saying, like, games that people have been wanting for years. Like, I think Shenmue 3 is the last one.
well, how much have we heard of Shenmue though since that E3 thing, which kind of
He's.
like makes me a bit worried.
He
He's on the
hasn't.
island, isn't he?
Yeah. He's so I contributed, so I get like updates
That makes sense.
like every I think it's like at least once a month I get an update. It's really small, dude. You could tell they're like still that game. I mean, I think they said that they would like to release that game December 2017. I don't think it's going to come out a year from now. I
Yeah,
really
no.
feel it's probably going to come out like somewhere in 2018. I would guess because it's still got a while to go. They're like just now like really
Mm,
getting into development. I think everything else was like R&D, like preliminary stuff, and now they're
yeah.
finally like digging their teeth into it. So, but yeah, so that's gonna be a while.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't turn out to be like Mighty Number Nine and that god awful trailer,
Oh God,
like an
that
anime
was
night and prom night, whatever it is. I can't remember that. Oh, that says I'm just like, oh
that
my
was a
god, I'm
big
like,
stinker, dude. That was like, oh, poor guys, man.
oh, I don't mean poor guys when they fucking took people's money and they shitting on the project.
That's true.
Uh,
Yeah.
excuse my fucking language there, but we'll move on because that's an entire podcast in its own. I'd rather not even bring that up. But what
Yeah.
was your final point on this? Do you have another point?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, for events, I know we covered in other shows and shit, we've covered Gamescom and we covered E3 and Tokyo Game Show. But, dude, we really didn't talk too much about. I know I don't want to talk too much about it because we'd be here for like an hour. But what'd you think of PlayStation Experience that just kind of finished a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I like PlayStation Experience.
And the
I've always felt
Game
because
Awards too. Fuck, I forgot Game Awards happened as well.
see, I like PlayStation Experience because it reminds me of Nintendo's Direct. Like it's a bit more
Oh
kind of a dedicated
yeah,
platform.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I understand, and I never have any quarrels with it. But with like Game Awards, I'm a little bit kind of like I like the announcements and I like other things, but it just seems like such a corny kind of like do you have to do when you have like Hollywood and you have like the Oscars and kind of the other things and they embrace it a bit more, like
Hmm.
medium, and they kind of have a bit more they have a bit more kind of sense of like
Right,
seriousness to it.
right.
With like the Game Awards, it's just a little bit like I can only take it on so much without like cringing or like my eye twitching or like fidgeting in my chair because of like what's happening.
Yeah.
Because it did have its cool things. It had its cool moments, and obviously the world premieres, the quote unquote world premieres, and you had stuff like Death Stranding there, Hideo Kojima, Was the Walking Dead there as well, season 3? The
Yeah.
trailer part. Yeah, so it had like a lot of stuff, but I wasn't really keen on it that much. I was more keen on PlayStation Experience because Crash Bandicoot was shown there. Big kind of like remaster. I think it looks absolutely amazing, and also the DLC for Uncharted 4, which also looks fucking
Yeah. Oh, dude.
rad.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was kind of like torn 50-50 between because I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. like, okay, I'll embrace it in whatever kind
Yeah.
of way.
I pretty much agree with everything you said. I think Game Awards was cool. I think that I was baffled that they showed off Legend of Zelda running on Wii U. I was baffled by that. I'm like, you
Just
guys are really not going to show
the
Switch.
the Nintendo podcast will come in 2017, don't they?
Yeah.
Like because the Switch is being shown off next year. I think is it
Sh-
February or January?
no, it's
January
next month. Yeah, yeah,
17th.
because they're
Yeah,
releasing in
January
March.
17th.
So
That oh yeah, that's it.
they,
Yeah, but I mean we'll have a bit more of a discussion on that because the Switch is a
yeah,
very interesting concept, and the fact
yeah, yeah,
the fact that you're taking it's like taking Uncharted and putting it on the PS3 and showing it E3, be like, hey, this game's also gonna be sold on PS4, but we'll show it in the inferior console. To
yeah,
get the like there's just like from like a marketing standpoint, from a public standpoint, from a lot of standpoints, you just raise your eyebrow and kind of like have to just pray and I hope
yeah.
something happens. But
No,
yeah,
definitely. It was yeah. I think experience was definitely, no pun intended, a better experience than Game Awards. It was great, man. It really I think they really knocked it out. I love this thing that they're doing every year where they announce a game and they make it available that day. Like I think last year is Final Fantasy VII on PS4, and then this year was Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Which dude, I wasn't gonna pick it
right,
up.
right.
I wasn't gonna pick it up because I own the game, but it included this book, a digitized version of this book that they made in early 2010 or I think it was like 2011 they did it. And it was a book called Marvel vs. Capcom: The Complete Works. And dude, to give you an
Mhm.
idea, that book costs like $80 on Amazon right now. Yeah, because it's out of print. So I'm like, let
Mm.
me get this straight. If I spend $20 on this game, I get that book too. Like, I'm fucking buying this game. So like, obviously, I wanted the game too, but like that was what pushed me to buying it. So I got to give credit to Capcom for doing that, dude. That was
Mm.
fucking like a big
That
f you
was
to all those scalpers. Like, fuck you guys.
sorry, that was a big announcement though. They just brought up Marvel vs. Capcom. I forgot they announced that.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
it holds a lot more weight as well, especially with like where Marvel is at the minute and maybe with Capcom. But no, it's cool when they make announcements. I completely agree with you. With Final Fantasy VII, which we haven't heard much about, but I
Yeah.
expect E3 next year will be its standing point where they show something off again.
Yeah.
Um, that's cool, and then also the fact that they showed that off. They showed Horizon off. I mean, like just kind of like drifting off towards the end. I mean, 2017, there's kind of a lot of stuff I'm looking forward to.
Mhm.
Horizon is obviously the big one, which is kind of like
Yeah.
when you put that much hype behind a game, it's going to be hard to really deliver on that front.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I'm looking forward to a lot of it. I'm expecting big news from Detroit as well. Our boys at Quantic Dream. I'm very excited about that game, so hopefully we'll get a release window. And then
Yeah.
just a couple of games here and there. Death Stranding will probably be shown again in some kind of capacity, a bit more details. There's probably a lot out there, which is very exciting for this year. It was an interesting year. It wasn't the best year, and for like games as well. Like the games were, I mean, like they were all right in different ways, but I think like next year will probably be bigger in
Yeah. No, I think so too.